It's watermelon time. Hi there, Sandra here from the Schwowin's Nest. Thanks for joining me today. I am super excited to be co-hosting a challenge with DIY with Nadia. Nadia does hauls, thrifting, and DIYs. So many beautiful things that she creates and tons of awesome hauls. So you've got to go check out her channel. I'll have her link down in the description box. My first DIY for you today is using this spoon and fork. They're bamboo and they were picked up at my local grocery store. I just put some painter's tape in the exact same spot on each of the utensils just so I know that that's where I need to stop with the paint. I'm starting off with some hunter green on the tip of both of the spoon and the fork. This will be the outside rind of my watermelon, but I'm also going to do the sides and the back. While the green is still a little bit wet, I'm going to add a little bit of white. And what I want to achieve is a little bit of an ombre effect. So I'm going to start off with my dark green and then add some white just to lighten it up into a lighter shade of green. And then that will be the inside portion of the rind. I'm going to make sure that they both look the same, and you'll see me moving back and forth between the two utensils just to make sure that the shades are very similar. I'm also going to move back and forth between my white paintbrush and the green paintbrush so I can get the right amount of blending in between. So you'll see me going back and forth and just trying to get a really nice blended shade. The next color I'm going to use is this Deco Art Americana Decor Chalky Finish in the color Romance. It's just a really nice deep red. I'm going to start with the red and just put about a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch a strip down. And then I'm just going to let that dry a wee bit before I start blending in with the white. After you're done watching my video, I would appreciate it if you would go over and check out Nadia's channel as well as the playlist. There will be a lot of people participating in this watermelon challenge, and you are sure to get some great decor ideas. Now I'm doing the same thing with the white and the red as I did with the white and the green. I'm just trying to blend the color so it's not a stark line and get a little bit of a pinkish shade starting. This type of paint technique is something that you just have to keep working at and going back and forth and blending and switching out the colors. If you've added too much white, you can go back and add some more red. If you've added too much red, you can go back and switch and add some white. So you've just got to play around with it until you get the look that you want. I continued with the red all the way down to the tape line, and then I added some white just to give it a little bit more of dimension, and so it's not just one solid white. I wanted a little bit of some pink and white shading in there as well. Using my favorite CraftSmart oil-based paint pen in black, it's a fine tip, I'm going to draw in some watermelon seeds. So it's going to be just a little oval with a point on one end, almost like a teardrop shape. I'm also going to stagger them and put them in sort of a random pattern. Actually, no pattern at all, because when you open up a watermelon, the seeds aren't symmetrical or all in a row. So I'm also going to turn them and just make some smaller, some bigger, and just make it very whimsical. The last step is to use some matte Mod Podge and give all of the painted areas a really good coat. I've let the paint dry really well before applying the Mod Podge because I don't want anything to smudge, and I'm going to go around the sides and the back. I also painted a tiny little black line just to give it a little bit more character. My next project is using this old wooden piece that I found in my garage, and I was lucky enough to have it already in this shape. It's perfect for a watermelon slice. I also dug up these red drawer pulls, and I'm going to use them as little riser feet for this tray. So what I'm going to do is take this out to my garage, drill some holes in where the screws need to be, and then fasten them in. First, I'm going to mark off where I want them just using a pen. Although you probably won't see the bottom very often, I decided to paint it black just to give it a more finished look. Now I'm going to add the red riser feet, and I'm going to be putting the screw in on the top side of it and screwing the knob into the bottom side, and that will make the little feet. Then I took my screwdriver and just hand tightened the knobs in place. Using the same hunter green acrylic paint that I used for the spoons, I'm going to just paint the outside trim of this board, and then I'll start with the top. I'm going to give this 2 coats all the way around. Now I'm going to start with the top of this riser board. I'm going to use the hunter green and do about an inch to an inch and a half thick line all the way around the circle and the bottom. And as I was finishing doing this, I realized that I didn't want that bottom straight edge to have green. So you'll see me change that up in a little bit. Using a lighter shade of green, this is called mossy green, and I'm going to just now do the same thing on the inside of the hunter green. And you can see here that I'm kind of being careful not to get that green on the bottom, but it will get colored green once I get around to the other side. I'm using the same color pattern that I did with the spoons, except for this time I'm using an extra color of the lighter green. But now I'm going in with some white, and I'm just going to do a thinner stripe of white all the way around the semicircle. Then I'm going to start blending in the white, the light green, and the dark green, just so they don't have harsh lines. I want them to be blended really well, just like I did on the spoon and fork. Using the same chalk paint from Deco Art in the romance color and a large paintbrush so I can get this done really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and paint the entire inside of the white semicircle red like a watermelon. Here you can see that I'm starting to create a slice of watermelon. I'm using the white brush now, and I'm going to blend in with the red to achieve a little bit of a pink blending color. Then I'm going to move on to the green and add a little bit of the green into the white and so on. So I'm just going to be blending all of the colors together until I get that harsh line gone and it looks the way I want it to. Once the blending was done the way I liked it, I took a dry brush and dipped it into the light green paint and just did some dry brushing around that outside green of the watermelon. I did it on the top and the sides. Using my CraftSmart black oil-based paint pen in the chisel tip, I'm going to now create some watermelon seeds on here as well. Again, same thing, sort of a teardrop effect, very randomly placed all around the inside red portion. Now I'm going to give everything a really nice thick coat of matte Mod Podge, and I'm going to let it dry completely. And there's a reason I'm doing this. I want to use my white oil-based paint pen on top of the red, and I don't want any of that red to catch onto my paint pen. So I'm going to do the Mod Podge first and then do some lettering afterwards with my white paint pen. I waited till the Mod Podge was completely dry, and now here's my white CraftSmart oil-based paint pen. I'm going to write the words Sweet Summertime down at the bottom of the slice, or the way you're looking at it, the top of the slice, the straight edge. And I'm going to use the skinny font, which is similar to a Ray Dunn style, but I'm going to just do it freehand and hope for the best. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here. When I do my lettering and I want something centered, I always start with the middle letters and work my way forward to the end of the word, and then I work my way back from the center to the beginning of the word. And that just ensures that it's as centered as possible without having to draw any pencil lines or using any tape. The last thing I'm going to do is just add some up and down lines just to give the letters a little bit more dimension. I absolutely love how both of my projects turned out, and I hope you like them too. Here they are displayed a couple of different ways. I'd like to thank Nadia for letting me co-host this challenge with her. It sure was a lot of fun. If you like this kind of content, I would love for you to hit that red subscribe button and stick around a while. You can also hit the blue bell to get notified every time I upload new videos. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.